Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. I am back with day 9 of Kid Cudi's testimony on the stand. So let's just get into it. Because I think after this, I'm going to break for lunch and we're going to do something else. Let's get into it. So we left off where Kid Cudi had said that he and Cassie had dated in 2011. She had called him early in the morning. He had a break-in. They talked about her demeanor. She was stressed. And he had gone to the Sunset Marquee because he thought it was safe and off the radar. Now let's keep going. So then he was asked who else did he speak with. He said Capricorn Clark, and she sounded like she was in tears. And then they asked, what did she say? That Sean Combs is in the car near his house. And then there was an objection. The judge overruled. They would say, so you called Sean Combs? That's what he was asked. He said, I did. He said, I'm over here waiting for you. And the AUSA was like, when you arrived, what did the outside look like? He said, pretty normal. No security cameras. No, he said they asked were there any security cameras. He said yes, but he found out that they weren't working. Then Kid Cudi went on to say, but the security cameras had been moved. And then he was asked, did he move them? He said no. And then he was asked, what did you see inside your home? Child, he said gifts were open. Some stuff he had got from Chanel, and the dog was locked up in the bathroom, child. Who done put the dog in the bathroom? Then the AUSA was like, how did you usually leave your dog? He said, I let him roam. How long had you had your dog? He said 3 years. The AUSA asked, what changes were behavior of your dog after the break-in? He said, jittery, on edge all the time. Child, Puffy done scared the dog. Then Kid Cudi was like, I got back in and called Sean Combs again. I was looking for him. I wanted to tussle with him, you know. And the AUSA said, did he answer? He said, yeah. He said, I'm on my way. I thought to myself. And then the lawyer objected. Judge said grounds. Still said not responsive. So Kid was like, I'm ready to see you, dude, for breaking in my crib, opening my bags, and traumatizing my dog. Right? But then Diddy ain't no punk. Diddy said, I'm on the way. So, child, that was a lot. So they went on to a new question. So the AUSA said, did you see, how did Cassie seem? He said she seemed depressed. Did he see her in Connecticut? Kid Cudi said yes. She needed it. And then he was asked, did Mr. Combs call you? He said yes. He hit me a few times. They got to stop with the street vernacular because the people in the court do not understand that means that he called me. So then the AUSA asked, what did you say? That I don't want to talk with him. He broke into my house, hurt my dog. And then the AUSA was like, did you and Ms. Ventura break up? Kid Cudi said yes. You know what I'm saying? Because now it seems like Cassie is more trouble than good. You know what I'm saying? And then they asked, what about your car? He said, my dog's babysitter called me and told me my car was on fire. They asked, where were you? He said, at a relative of my ex-girlfriend's. Where did you go? He said, to my house at 8925 Hollywood Hills Road. Let me show you 6 pictures. Do you recognize any of these things in the picture? Child, he said, my Porsche. My Lord. Diddy, what in the world? You are not a gangster. And then Kid Cudi was like, that's the damage to my Porsche from the Molotov cocktail. Who took these photos? He said, Chip, a good friend and collaborator. What's depicted here? He said, the hole they cut in the roof of my car to put in the Molotov cocktail. So did it just out here being good fellas? A Bronx tale? You just out here being a Bronx tale, just throwing Molotov cocktails all over the place. Ooh. So, of course, Kid Cudi said exactly what we would say. WTF. They said objection. It was overruled. At this time, they need to take a break. Before the jurors come back, the judge needs to know, are you going to finish with these witnesses today? Right? The AUSA said yes. Though the cross with Mr. Kaplan went 3 times longer than we thought it would. And then they brought the jurors back. So then the AUSA starts speaking back to Kid Cudi as the jury is coming back in. Was the damage on your car present before the call from the dog sitter? He said no. The AUSA said, did you think it was accidental or intentional? He said intentional. Then he was asked, where did you last see Miss Ventura? Kid Cudi said, at the Soho house. I reached out to Sean Combs and said, let's talk. This is getting out of hand. And then Combs' lawyer was like, can we have a sidebar? That, it is a lot of sidebars going on in this trial. Like, they do more sidebars than having their stuff together so they can cross-examine. But anyway, the judge said, do you have an objection? Steele said yes. The judge said sustain, disregard, and move on. Because the judge is tired at this point, right? Because y'all making up stuff as y'all go. Y'all got surprise witnesses coming in, talking about they ready to talk. It's a lot going on. So then the AUSA asked him, who set up the meeting at Soho House? Kid Cudi said, D-Rock and my manager. Y'all, this tickled me so bad. The AUSA asked Kid Cudi, like, what was Mr. Combs doing? He said, standing there like a Marvel supervillain. And I can see that, right? And they went on, and Kid Cudi was like, he said, we were homies. You know, that is my girl. And the AUSA said, well, what did you say? Kid Cudi said, I thought you had broken up. Then Sean Combs offered me water twice. Like, I wouldn't take that. And then Kid Cudi was like, it was weird. Sean Combs being so calm. What did Cassie say? Child, Cassie said that we had fallen in love. Things happen. In love with Kid Cudi? Then the AUSA was like, what did you say to Mr. Combs? What about my car, he said. Puppy said, I don't know what you're talking about. Puppy crazy. Then the AUSA said, did you see Sean Combs later? He said, a few years later. Also at Soho House. He said, I'm just sorry for all of that BS. I was surprised. So I found peace with it. Child. So this is a continuation of him seeing Puffy later on at Soho House. The AUSA was like, no further questions at this time. The judge calls Mr. Steele. So when Steele comes up there, he's trying to trip him up, talking about his Porsche in 2022. Kid Cudi was like, 2012. He was like, oh, I apologize. You get a call about damage to your vehicle. Any surveillance photos? He said, no. My dog's babysitter did send me pictures of the damage. So then Mr. Steele was like, the DNA taken, are you aware it came back as female? They said objection, no foundation. It was sustained. He had to re-ask the question. Do you know there were DNA results? The judge said, I'll allow that. Kid Cudi said no. So now they're back to the relationship with Kid Cudi and Cassie, right? So Miss Ventura told you it was over. He said, we just stopped talking. And then he said, you told this honorable court and this jury that she played you. He said, yes. You didn't know what was going on. Kid Cudi said he had no clue. Cassie over there just running game. I don't know why she would do that. Maybe she was just trying to get away and just trying to talk to somebody that was normal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that may be what it was. Then it said in 2011, you went on tour. He said, yes, 65 locations. Yeah. At the time, Sean Combs was an icon. Fair to say? Yes. You and Miss Ventura had a bang-bang relationship. Objectional, sidebar. It's so many sidebars, right? So Kid Cudi was like, Mr. Steele. They was like, nope. The judge said, you can do that on a redirect. And then the lawyer was like, do you want to tell me something? So when the judge had told Kid Cudi, you know, like, no, save it or whatever, he said, the lawyer asked, are you trying to tell me something? He said that Combs had contacted him to do music with Cassie in 2010. So he said, thank you. And then they got to talking about the break-in again. So you believe they left your front door unlocked? He said, yes. No forced entry. No. Presence open, door open in the bathroom. You call Sean Combs. He said, yeah. He said he was calm. He said, yes. So then right here, the lawyer was asking Kid Cudi, you went to see him. You didn't think he had a firearm? He said, I couldn't call it. And then the lawyer was like, you're a strong person. That's how you categorize yourself? He said, yeah, but this crossed the line. And then they talked about Cassie right here. Miss Ventura told you that she had been ABUSCD. He said yes. Y'all, this is a lot. And I'm going to have to take a break. I got some other things I'm going to post for you. But I'll be back. It's your girl, Millie Chan. Bye, y'all.